Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today I was reading an article which cited some information from the Canned Food Alliance. What are the top canned foods that Americans buy and have in their pantries at home? I thought, oh, that'll be interesting. It's probably easy. I can go check, 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 I have those things. And boy, were my eyes open when I read this list, because I thought, those aren't the foods that I stockpile. So I thought it was interesting to compare what the most popular canned foods are in America, see if they're canned foods that you have, and maybe figure out if it's something you want to add, or if we can learn from each other what are the most popular canned foods that we as preppers stockpile. So I'm going to read them from the bottom of the list till the number 1 of most popular. So we'll start off with Heinz tomato sauce. Rotel mild diced tomatoes with green chilies. Ocean Spray jellied cranberry sauce. Swanson's chicken broth. Bumblebee solid white albacore tuna. Bush's baked beans. Chef Boyardee beefaroni. Campbell's SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I haven't seen those in decades. Manwich sauce. My family likes manwich sauce. You can make it not only with ground beef, but you can use already cooked lentils. You can use 1 cup of lentils in place of 1 pound of meat. Chicken of the sea tuna. Van Camp's pork and beans. Chef Boyardee beef ravioli. Del Monte kernel corn. Del Monte green beans. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs. I haven't seen that in a long time. Generic kernel corn. Campbell's cream of chicken soup. Campbell's tomato soup. And Rotel diced tomatoes green chilies. This is the second time Rotel is on the list. One is the regular and one is the mild. Campbell's chicken noodle soup. This is the most shocking canned food. Number 3 is Armour Vienna sausages. Armour Vienna sausages. I didn't think anybody really eats those, and it says right on the can that it's one of America's favorite foods. I had no idea. No one in my family has touched a Vienna sausage in decades, and when I asked them if we should get one and try it again since it's so popular, it was an immediate thumbs down no. The number 2 canned food, Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, and number 1 is Starkist Tuna. Now these are great foods, lots of them you can use to enhance recipes and make meals, but I was surprised at how much tuna there was and only Vienna sausage and no canned chicken, no canned beef. Those are the canned meats that my family uses. We don't particularly like tuna, I guess, and so we don't use it very much, but we do use a lot of canned chicken, and I also have a nice stockpile of canned beef because it's nice to have for quick meals and for long-lasting food storage. I do like that they have a nice variety of full meals in a can, such as SpaghettiOs, beefaroni, ravioli. I haven't seen most of those in the store lately, and so my pantry tends to be full of the mini ravioli. I've been able to find them, and one thing I like to do with them is bake them with cheese, or I stir them into a tomatoey vegetable soup and make a nice hearty meal that way. I couldn't find any of the other kinds of Chef Boyardee, and so I did pick up a can of lasagna because I thought, well, maybe that'll be okay. And no, absolutely not. I do not recommend the lasagna because it's just noodles floating around in sauce. It doesn't have any kind of meat, no vegetables, nothing that gives it any flavor, texture, or palatability. So I'm going to have to be on the lookout again for beefaroni, spaghetti and meatballs, and SpaghettiOs. I've not seen those in the store, and so I don't have any of those in my stockpile anymore. I was surprised that they had only 1 kind of beans. It's good to have a nice selection of basic kinds of beans so that you can make meals from your beans. Pinto beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans, black-eyed peas. Have a nice variety of basic beans that you can make into all different kinds of recipes. I was surprised they didn't have more foods like chili. You can get all kinds of varieties of chili, but there didn't seem to even be one. Baked beans is a good food to have in your pantry, and you can get all kinds of different varieties of the baked beans to give different flavors simply by opening a can, maybe stirring it in with a few other ingredients, and you can make flavorful meals. My three go-to vegetables are corn, green beans, and then the mixed vegetables. I prefer to stockpile the chunky type soups. I try to get them with meat in them to have extra protein. It's getting harder and harder to find the chunky soups in any kind of a variety. We used to be able to get all kinds of varieties. There were probably 40 different kinds, and now the selection is extremely low. It's good to have tomato products, everything from canned tomato sauce, tomato paste, diced tomatoes. Get some cans of spaghetti sauce that's already made up. Then with a box of spaghetti noodles, a can of spaghetti sauce, you can actually make a meal with just 2 items out of your prepper pantry. There weren't any canned fruits on this list. I've had lots of problems with leaking and bulging fruits, and so I try to not have as many of those and rotate those. That's one of the foods that I will buy in a number 10 can from somewhere like Augustin Farms or the LDS Church, because then you have freeze-dried fruit that can store in your pantry for up to 25 or 30 years. If you realize you have cans with dents, don't put them away in your deep food storage. Go ahead and use them up, because they're less likely to last long term just in case their seal has been damaged. Pay attention to the best by use by sell by date. I've had a lot of problem with things like fruits not lasting. They've bulged and leaked and been spoiled. But a lot of foods will last long past that. Just don't count on it. Buy enough and then rotate them within that time frame so that you don't end up with way too many that they've expired before you can rotate and replace them. If they're past the date, it doesn't mean they're not any good. You can go ahead, check over the package, look to see if there's anything bulging, leaking that looks off. Go ahead and open it, make sure nothing is spurting or smells weird. Look it over. Does it look okay? Smell okay? Give it a little taste. And if it passes all of those tests, it's probably fine to go ahead and eat it. If you have any doubt at all, throw it away. There's no sense getting sick over a few dollars worth of food. Leave a comment below of what are your favorite canned foods. Give us some ideas of other foods we might want to add to our prepper pantry. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.